I don't know. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the KF Podcast. This is the YouTube. Sorry, I didn't really know what to say. So this is our YouTube special this week where we're going to break down old school dinosaur themed cartoons.
This is actually the beginning of a new series we're doing here on YouTube. It's a retro edition. We're going to find old weird cartoons, things from like the 80s and 90s and talk about them. Since there's multiple cartoons out there that are dinosaur themed, I figured let's talk about which one of them the best instead of giving one of them their own. And, you know, from our podcast, the Pop Culture Week in Review, find us there, like, share, subscribe, KF Podcast, all that shit. You know, here's our logo on the screen. There's multiple shows based on dinosaurs. I kind of put these ones as the four. I don't want to use the word best because one of them's pretty bad. Well, two of them are kind of bad too. All of them are kind of bad. But we talk about Dino Riders and Dino Saucers all the time.
Let's be honest. This is all Jurassic Park and Fast and Furious' fault.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that's the reason why we talk about it so much, is because they're blatantly going towards these like movies.
Well, the first one on here, I mean,
Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
So one of the shows we're going to talk about is Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, which is exactly what F9 or F10 and Jurassic World together would be.
Yes.
I mean, this show, we'll get to the theme about it after. Then we're going to talk about Dino Riders, which again, same thing. Dino Saucers is another one. And then the last one that I found on there that I thought kind of tied in was Extreme Dinosaurs.
Okay.
We'll tell you where that comes from to begin with. Okay. Actually, we'll start with Extreme Dinosaurs. So Extreme Dinosaurs, 52 episodes. This falls out of the Cowboys of Moo Mesa. This is a direct sequel to Street Sharks.
Oh, okay.
If a lot of people might not know that. Like if you ever watched Street Sharks, which ran for, I think a full order as well too, 65 some episodes. This was 52. The extreme dinosaurs are introduced in there. So they are, it's a Tyrannosaurus, a Triceratops, a Stegosaurus, and a Pterodon.
Okay.
Transformed into super warriors by an interdimensional criminal named Ogor Zardock. Nice name.
Yeah.
They rebelled against the alien. They come to Earth. They're just like, they skateboard and shit. This is like early 90s.
Oh my god.
They do extreme sports, but they're dinosaurs. This was just Street Sharks and Cowboys and Moo Mesa. What other brought? Battletoads.
All SWAT cats.
All things that the Turtles inspired, basically.
Like Mice from Mars.
So some of the characters on Extreme Dinosaurs, it was a foursome. Like the T-Rex was T-Bone. And then Spike was the Triceratops. Does anybody want to guess what the Stegosaurus' name was? Stegs was his name. And then the Pterodon.
You sure this isn't Retribution from WWE?
Yeah, seriously. His name was Bullseye. He was a wisecracking Pterodon, whose chief weapon was a shriek of ear-spitting frequency. Then they had an
spitting or splitting?
Splitting, ear splitting. Then they had a guy named Hard Rock who was an Ankylosaurus, who I think was introduced later on.
Okay. Yeah.
They fought an evil group of velociraptors.
Okay. That's strange.
Velociraptors are smaller than all those other dinosaurs put together, but
like all the velociraptors had like mech something. Like one had like metal jaws, it looks like. And like one is like all black.
Well, one's name was Bad Rap, Hax, Spidor. Then there were Cyber Raptors. I mean, it's a lot of like extreme stuff with dinosaurs, and it's kind of goofy. The Quadranians were like human blue skin aliens.
Yep.
It was. Then there was a group called the Skelezars, which was a group of 4 dinosaur skeletons of the team species. So they looked just like the team, but they were skeletons.
Were they evil?
No, they were allies.
Well, that's kind of weird.
This show ran from September 1st
to September
1997 to December 24th. So it was really only out for a few months, 52 episodes of it, and that was it. It did have figures. It did have
the toys look very much like Street Sharks.
Yeah, very much
hunched over.
Yeah, like hulking kind of looking characters. I don't know if this had a comic book or not. It was released on DVD, home video, all that stuff. I think you can find most of these episodes on YouTube. that are out there if you want to go watch these episodes. So that was it. That's Extreme Dinosaurs. That one, like I said, 52 episodes.
When was this out again?
In the 90s.
All right, I don't
94.
Remember. I don't remember these at all.
Yeah, not a lot of... No, 97, sorry.
Oh, yeah. This was... I went through a phase in high school where I didn't watch, like, any cartoons.
Oh.
It was super cool then.
I was like too good for cartoons or something during high school.
Okay. Cool. So then let's go to Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, right? Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. This series follows the exploits of Jack Tenrick and his crew of ecological freedom fighters known as the Mechanics. Basically, it's like a post-apocalyptic future world that shit went bad. There's something to do with time travel and time paradox that, like, dinosaurs come back. And this group of guys are very good at, like, reconfiguring technology. But why they only use Cadillacs is never explained.
I'm sure Cadillac sponsored part of the show.
Like, he flies around in a really cool Cadillac that, like, it can go on ground and then it has hover wheels and jets. And the toys were really cool.
This series was actually a comic book for a long time in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
86 to 96.
It was called Xenozoic Tales.
Yes.
By Mark Schultz. Xenozoic Tales was around for... And it wasn't called Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. There was just Cadillac cars in it.
Yeah.
And, 87 to 96. It ran for quite a while.
And it was a role-playing game before it became... before it became a cartoon.
This one also had a video game release with it too,
and it looks good. It's like classic 90s
where you're driving in a car, scrolling,
yeah.
and you're shooting dinosaurs.
Yep.
I think it might have had an arcade game too.
It did. That's that 4-person.
Yeah, that you're shooting dinosaurs and fighting.
You can call the car in to run them over and stuff. Very much like
Turtles again, they could have picked any other cars in this future world to rig up to fight dinosaurs, but they just go with Cadillacs, you know. There was Jack Tenrick, as I said, Hannah Dundee, Mustafa, Cairo, Kringo, Hermes, all these different names. The bad guys that they fought were like a council of governors. I mean, it was very, there was a lot of like environmental themed stuff in this cartoon. It only lasted 13 episodes. I mean, it came on September 8th, ran to January 28th of the next year, 93 to 94. They only did 13 episodes of it. Primarily, it was more, they got more out of it with the video game exposure, and they did, in the comic book series that ran for a while as both the Xenozoic Tales and then later on as Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
It seemed like it was too many ideas to put in a comic or into a cartoon.
You know what? I watched part of this. It's not bad. Like, as far as like, a show from the 90s, it feels kind of like G.I. Joe-esque. It just has a goofy name. I think the name was bad. Like,
Boy, this Hannah Dundee character was definitely an early 90s character.
What does she do?
Holy
shit.
She's
just hanging out.
Just all sexed up.
Hannah Dundee.
Just tight jeans and a button-down shirt that's tied up just under her boobs.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's not even a cutoff. It is just, she turned a button-down shirt into a bra.
Now, was she dressed like that in the just the cartoon or in the comic?
The comic art's all her, like...
The video game the same way. The cartoon doesn't look much better.
The toy was covered up.
Was the toy covered up? I gotta look at the toys.
Yeah, Hannah Dundee.
This cosplay is one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
You have to send that to Dawn so you can put it in the video.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's pretty good.
Well, even the toy they have her kind of shirt pulled up and all that too. Each toy came with like an over-the-top crossbow or something like that.
They were made by Tyco.
Yeah, and they actually reused the Dino Riders molds for a lot of these.
Mm-hmm.
The Dino Riders molds got used for a lot of stuff, which takes us over to Dino Riders.
Well, and also a lot of Cadillacs Dinosaur stuff was used in Jurassic Park too.
Yeah.
Like they used a lot. They crossed over.
Like I said, the vehicles are cool.
Yeah.
The Cadillac looked cool. It had a lot of features. They were big. You know, I think the toy line was a hit, but the cartoon was not.
The toys. I was looking up the toys this week just to compare them. The dinosaurs totally are not in scale with anything.
Because they're the Dino Riders.
Yeah, because I think the humans are 3 3/4 inch scale.
Yeah.
And everything, and then the dinosaurs are 2 inch scale, so they're a little too small. But other than that, they're pretty solid.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, they're. I'll post some images here during this video. They're cool. They sold like small packs that you could buy little dinosaurs in that were carded packs. Everything came with some kind of little accoutrement, little over the top missile or bullet or whatever, But the car was cool. They go for a lot on eBay too. They do.
Yeah.
That show also you can find on YouTube. But again, no plans or anything to bring back Cadillacs and dinosaurs or anything in that horizon.
I'm missing out.
So Dino Riders, where this shows where they got the stuff up. Dino Riders, 14 episodes again on that one. This was the Valorians, who were a species of peaceful humanoids that lived on the planet Valoria until they were invaded by the predatory Rulons. The Rulons, Krulos is their leader. He's like a lizard?
He's a frog, I think.
He's like a frog or something, but he has snake men that all look like cobras.
But there's also hammerhead guys too.
There's hammerhead guys.
Yeah, it's all like predatory animals, like fire ants.
Yeah, everybody has a little different, Then they have the space-time energy projector, the step crystal, which allows them to travel. They crash land back in prehistoric times on Earth. And in basically 1.5 hour episode, they get it all set up. I mean, they brain box the bad dinosaurs, is what they call that. Enslaving them.
And then the Valorians befriend them.
We're using a little crystal
telepathy
that they can calm them down. And they have all the peaceful dinosaurs.
They have all the plant eaters.
Yeah.
They both use Deinonychuses, which are like raptors.
Oh, okay.
To ride
both
on.
Squads. Yeah. Both squads had those.
But the good guys also rode on
Brontosaurus.
They rode on small Triceratops too.
Mm-hmm.
The
bad guys had the Triceratops.
Yeah, but the good guys had a mini Triceratops or one.
They had the Torosaurus.
Yeah,
the one Triceratops guy.
Yeah, brain.
And then they had the smaller ones. What were those called?
The Triceratops Krulon one was cool looking. He had he sat on a side turn on him.
Yep.
And then his brain box helmet was cool.
Yeah.
Because it went over his 3 horns and fixed over his eyes. It was really neat looking.
The dinosaurs that didn't even exist at the same time period were all mixed together in here.
Yeah, don't ask questions.
Yeah.
It's just
the toy line lasted longer than the TV show did, and they went into the Ice Age period.
Yeah, they did.
It had all the prehistoric mammals and stuff, and they befriended cavemen and all that kind of.
Dino Riders was a far better toy line than anything else.
Well, I don't know if I think I told this story on the podcast once before, but I never knew there was anything other than the one episode. I had it on VHS. I watched it 1,050 times in a row, and then that's all when I put it out of my world and moved on, I never thought about it until recently we were talking. I'm like, 13 episodes? I never seen any of those. And I watched one. I was like, I've never seen this. I don't even know what this is. I thought it was just a half-hour movie. When I was young. It was a half-hour movie. And really, that's all it needed to be, because they had a conflict, they resolved it, and they moved on, and that was it.
Yeah. It was basically a half-hour commercial for the toys,
too.
For
the toys, yeah.
They actually had commercial breaks during the VHS tape of the toys.
They did.
So many parts on these toys to lose. So many parts.
Oh, and I lost and they were very fragile.
Yeah.
The weapons and stuff that you put on the dinosaurs, you better not twist them too far because they'll snap right off. Many super glued parts in my house growing up.
A great thing about this show is, Questar, the names are perfect. So the good guys are out on a quest to find like thing. So their leader is Questar,
Of
right?
course, yeah.
He was voiced by Peter Parker, Spider-Man from Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Okay.
He used that same voice actor. Questar has a son who's like an up-and-coming like leader, a good guy, action hero. So he's younger than Questar. His name is Youngstar. Like, so when Youngstar gets old, like, are they gonna call him the Old Star now?
They are.
They have to.
The names are great. Now, of course, Peter Cullen, Optimus Prime, voiced half this like bad guy cast.
Of course he did.
He was the voice for all of them. He's everybody.
Don't forget the younger brother, Lad.
Then you had Gunner. He was the gunner of the team. You know, like the names were just very, very, very lazy. But
I love the bad guy names though. I was like Rasp, Hammerhead.
Rasp was a cool villain. He was like the leader of the Snake guys, and he sounded like Star. Well, actually, Rasp is voiced by Megatron. Frank Welker, Megatron, does his voice.
Well, there you go.
He does Krulos. He does the bad guy later. I mean, if you go back and look at all this voice, Megatron and Prime voice half the people in history.
Yes.
Any TV show, they voice most of all of them.
From the 80s and 90s.
Yeah. And even now, they're still voicing guys left and right.
Yeah.
And you can also throw in there Alan Oppenheimer, who does Skeletor. He does a lot of...
Alan Oppenheimer.
Alan Oppenheimer is Skeletor. He did a ton of voices, too.
But who does Merman's voice and Sea Spray's?
I don't know, because...
The best voices in all of 80s cartoons.
Because Chris Latta, who's a famous... He's passed away now, but he was Starscream and Cobra Commander. And he used to do a lot of those other character voices, too, that were, like, different. You know, but, I mean, you just don't get voice actors like those dudes anymore. So yeah, that was that was Dino Riders, which leads us into the final one, which I think was the most successful out of all these cartoons. It had 65 episodes, and it's Dino Saucers. Dino Saucers follows the Dino Saucers and their battle against the evil Tyrannos. Each group is composed of intelligent anamorphic dinosaurs or other prehistoric saurian species. The Dino Saucers are also allied with 4 humans. You always need 4 stupid kids, known as the Secret Scouts. The 2 groups originally come from a planet in a counter-Earth orbit known as Reptilion. And most of the characters are named after prehistoric dinosaurs and animals. Which, this one always cracked me up because they came from outer space, right?
Yes.
But, like, their names are what humans picked for dinosaurs to be named. You know, there's Ankylo's the one bad guy, and then Allo. What'd you say, Ron?
He always snorted like a pig.
Yeah, yeah, he did. He's like the bumbling sidekick. He'd always get yelled
every
at.
time he got yelled at, he would somehow flip over and land head first on the ground.
I love that.
Which is a quality I wish like my kids had. Like every time I come in and yell in a room, they just flip upside down and land on their head. He was so scared, from...
It's like those screaming goats that you scare them and they're just... Ah!
But, I mean, it was so... Everybody had these, like... my favorite name was Brawno Thunder.
The names were great. The character design was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, they all looked really, really cool, I thought. I mean, they were all really, really neat looking. It was a cool show. It was different. The theme song was great.
Dino Saucers.
I was surprised it didn't last, that it couldn't find an audience and not last longer than what it did.
I'm surprised the toy line never got picked up in the U.S.
Yeah, the toy line is a whole nother story, that it's only exists in other countries, and the toys are amazing.
Toys
They're,
are big.
8-inch figures or something like that? Fully
Yeah.
articulated. Well, we got to talk about their powers. Their powers were great.
Yeah, go ahead.
They could transform into their full-size dinosaur counterpart.
Dino Volving was the name of the power, right?
So they could turn into, like, the bad guy, Genghis Rex, could turn into a T-Rex.
Genghis Rex is a great name.
Yes.
What a great name is Genghis Rex.
All the dinosaur names were great.
Genghis Rex, Ankylo, Quackpot, Brachio, Styraco, Plesio. Everybody's in an O. Terrible Dactyl is another great name. There was like a counterpart for one and the other.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If you were like a long neck One, they had a long neck one.
Yep.
They put their
Well,
heads
yeah,
together.
I was gonna say in the show logo they had their heads smashed.
And Allo was an Allosaurus, which kind of looks like a T-Rex, right? You know.
He has 3 fingers instead of 2.
Yeah. And it was just cool. I don't know. It just never found its audience. I mean, even having 65 episodes, it was only on from September to December. Then it stopped, and it was just in syndication for years.
Yeah, because it was on every day.
Yeah.
It hung around for a while though, because I remember watching it like in different points of my life. I think it was always on the USA Cartoon Express.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
where I watched the most of it. I think I watch this all the time on the Cartoon Express.
Yeah.
It seems like I've only seen like a grand total of 4 or 5 episodes though.
Probably. I probably only watched one of the episodes. So
I love that the evil pterodactyl wore like an old timey flight mask.
Yeah.
with the eye
I
guard.
love it.
yeah, because they
That's
have
such
those.
a good look.
They have those on his. That's how you know he's a villain.
Yeah.
He had his like Red Baron helmet on or whatever.
And then there was like a dolphin person, like with a good dolphin. It was like a good.
There was a girl, like good water girl. The girls were always like
Either
fish.
birds or fish.
Well, I was gonna say that there's there's a feathered like bird that's a good girl. There's like an old timey
Oh, she's a
dinosaur.
good girl.
Yeah, she's a good girl. She's a good girl. But yeah, Dino Saucers was great.
It was. So with that, naming all these 4, what would you vote as the best dinosaur themed show of the past?
Show Dino Saucers,
Okay.
toys, Dino Riders.
Only because the Dino Saucer, I don't know, the Dino Riders toys are pretty cool.
I think even if I had those 8-inch figures available, I would rather buy Dino Riders. Not
I would have bought all those Dino Saucer toys if they would have released them here.
But as a kid, seeing all that stuff, especially as like 2-inch scale, which was something I liked as a kid, like, yeah. I'd be
And they were motorized.
yeah, they want, because the T-Rex had wheels on its feet, so
Yeah.
they'd like try to move.
Justin,
shambled along.
best Dino themed cartoon.
It's got to be Dino Saucers.
I agree. That's what I would pick too. Brock, how about you?
Wow, are we all going to agree on something?
No, Dino.
I think, like we said, the cartoon, that's Dino Saucers. The toy line, Dino Riders, was an awesome toy line.
Yes.
The comic Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
Comic
art-
Cadillacs and that.
The art for Cadillacs Dinosaurs is amazing.
Extreme Dinosaurs, nothing.
Nothing.
Only
Only losers like
Dinosaurs was a ripoff of a ripoff.
Of a ripoff, yeah.
only losers like Rob Craig would like
Yeah.
because it came from Street Sharks.
Yeah, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs does have the best art.
Yeah.
For some of its like fan art and
Yeah.
comic art, they have some really cool covers.
Yeah.
The Dino Riders comic sucked. I think it got canceled after 3 issues. I think the first issue was just that VHS story. Second issue was weird, and by the 3rd issue, like the Rulons are like transforming the humans into dinosaurs, and then it got canceled.
The best theme song was Dinosaurs.
Yes.
I don't even think Dino Riders had a song.
Here's what we need to
No,
do.
it
Is
didn't.
if we can find these episodes on YouTube, we need to like do a watch along with one of each.
Oh,
of
I'd
us.
love to watch. I'd love to watch any of these.
So we'll start at the same time. You watch it.
I mean, you can find the pilot for Dino Riders. It's out there, like the original episode. And like I said, when I turned it on and watched it, I was sitting there mouthing every word to it. I'm like, why do I know every word to this show? Oh, I watched it 150,000 times.
It was good.
Oppenheimer also did the voice of Merman and
Did he?
Sea Spray.
Yeah, I told you. It's either Alan Oppenheimer, Cullen, or Megatron. They do it all.
The two best the best voice characters in all of.
When you if you ever watch Toy Galaxy and they review these old cartoons, he'll come up at the end, he'll be like, Prime, Skeletor, and Megatron making another appearance, doing all the voices. And not only did these guys do one character, but they would do like 10 characters on the show. Just
And
subtle.
you didn't know it.
And you didn't
They're
even
so
know
good.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, no one even knows that Megatron and Transformers is also doing Soundwave, Shockwave, Rumble, Frenzy, the Ravage noises, the Laserbeak noises. And then he's Fred from Shaggy. And you're like, how are you Fred from Shaggy? How is Fred from Shaggy and Megatron the same person? Doesn't sound anything like it. Amazing.
Casey Kasem was Shaggy.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. I mean, Fred. What did I say? Yeah, Fred.
You
not
said
Fred.
Shaggy instead of Scooby.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha. But there you go. Dinosaur-themed shows. Let us know if there's any other cartoons out there like
I
this.
think the world needs a dinosaur-themed show right now.
It does.
And
Well,
I'd like
they,
to see a
What
Dino
the
Saucers
world-
reboot.
you know, they
Needs
tried to do
now.
like Brock. There's that one that was
dinosaurs.
called Dino. Dino. It was a newer one. It sucked.
Denver the Last Dinosaur.
No, there's
Yeah, that was at the same time as these.
like that reptile show that they tried to do with that one kid from Marvel.
Oh, I know what you're talking
the
about. That was a Marvel show.
That was a Marvel show, but there was another one called Dino Squad or something like that. It's newer. It was and it just is not as good. You know, the Power Rangers have tried to do. They've done a million dinosaur themed stuff over and
The
over.
current series is dinosaur themed.
Yeah. But we need to bring back Dino Saucers live action.
Live action.
That would be a good live action show, though.
We know that Jurassic Park and Fast and Furious, it's going to be Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. That's going to go into Dino Riders, and that's going to go into Dino Saucers.
Vin Diesel will be like,
They could do Dino Saucers now, I think.
I don't have my
because
regular car, but I got a Cadillac. He's like, oh, it's Cadillacs and dinosaurs.
The girl that the clone had
Yeah.
with dinosaur DNA, she could very easily transform.
Well,
into
I
a
mean, in that
dinosaur.
movie of Jurassic World,
There it
we
is.
thought she was going Dino Saucers all the way.
Yeah.
At the end of
Yep.
that, when her eyes went weird, we're like, here it comes.
We haven't seen Dominion yet.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going on.
She
here.
did the trippy eyes. I'm like, it's happening on the big screen. Here it goes.
Dino Saucers is happening. These are signs we need to take to AEW Rampage. Dino Saucers is happening.
She was gonna be like, my name is Aloe, or have some weird, stupid theme name.
She's going to turn into a dolphin girl.
And like most of these cartoons and most of these shows, it's so amazing when aliens show up and they speak English for no apparent reason at all. How convenient. All right, that's the end
It's
of
the
it.
common tongue
Yeah,
in all the galaxy.
That's it.
exactly. In
Take
the
us
world.
out.
All right, everyone, please like, share, subscribe, invite, tell your friends, leave us a review, let us know what you think. Let us know if you want us to watch cartoons, and we can do a watch along with you and talk about them.
Or ride along. Come to your house, drive around, and just go shopping.
There you go.
All right, later.
Good night.